You've literally died 3, 4, 5 times, overdose survivors, suicide survivor, veteran. You got a bag of pills in your pocket, and you're having a conversation with yourself. How am I going to take these pills and keep them down so that you can complete suicide?
Yes, sir. I felt like I was broken from burns. I felt like as if I had the mark of the devil. I'm left side paralyzed, and it's a very struggle every single day. They sent me to Fort Benning, Georgia.
Operation Iraqi Freedom.
Yes, sir.
And it was, if people remember, it's the big shock and awe.
I actually ran into what you call a Bradley tank. It squished me in the cab of my vehicle. It ripped my Kevlar off, cracked my head, broke my jaws, and then it broke my back. And that broke my spinal cord, femoral, and sciatic nerve. The doctor said it looked like it was put in a blender.
Some of those demons have been depression. Some of those demons have been addiction.
I wasn't worthy. I wasn't good enough.
You've been wrestling some demons for a very long time. Well, hey, everybody, John Eklund here. We are on Living on Incline podcast, and man, I'm excited about today. This guest that we have on today is extremely special and a little different than folks we've had on here before. John, thank you so much for being here, man. I'm so excited to talk to you. And we shared, drove you up here, just had a great conversation over the last hour. And we're going to talk about some things that I think are really going to be hard for folks to really wrap their head around. You've literally died 3, 4, 5 times, overdose survivor, suicide survivor, veteran. And anyway, man, you're incredible. And you are truly living on Incline. Thanks for being here, man. I appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah, brother. So, um, folks don't see this as you're sitting here, that we brought you in a wheelchair. You got some physical handicaps you're overcoming, some mental health issues that you have been wrestling with for a very long time, trauma, post-traumatic stress, and here you are, man. And you're not just surviving, you're thriving. And I want to start with this. We're going to kind of go backwards. And I want you to just talk about recently, I guess it was 3 years ago.
Yes, sir.
You're in church and you have a bag of pills in your pocket, and you're sitting in church. You're coming to this church. I think it was the first time.
Wasn't the first time, but it was maybe 6 or 8 times.
Okay, been there 6 or 8 times, feeling things out of church, but you're not doing great mentally. You're struggling.
Yes, sir. Struggling, very difficult.
Yeah, going through a lot. And we're gonna back up and go through those things here in a minute. But I want to hit this right away. You got a bag of pills in your pocket, and you're having a conversation with yourself. How am I going to take these pills and keep them down so that you can complete suicide? That you didn't want to be here anymore, and you're going, I'm just going to take these pills 5 or 6 at a time, or should I take them all at once? We're in the Jeep driving here, and you're talking about how that was kind of your first connection with me. Can you just walk through that a little bit? What was going on in your mind at the time? Why were you wanting to end your life? What was going on in that church environment? And I just think it's significant because there's a lot of people in our churches who sitting there through worship, through the sermon, with a bag of something in their pocket, thinking, I don't want to be here anymore. So just what was going on in your head that had you in that place?
Yes, sir. I'm left side paralyzed, and it's a very struggle every single
Yeah,
day. And I was kind of just tired of what I was going
yeah,
through and dealing with and been dealing with. And um, I was contemplating on how I could do it and be the easiest way to
right.
go out. And I was upset, and I was listening to Pastor Rodney preach and hoping that I could just find a way not to
Yeah.
talk myself out of it. And as I was leaving, you saw me, and you asked me what was going on.
You were very emotional.
Yes, sir, I
You were
was
coming out of the church, you're very emotional, still had those pills in your pocket, still contemplating suicide. I remember seeing you and going, "Man, this dude is he's wrecked."
mhm.
Um, and I remember connecting with you and, but you had it's been a while. You reminded me of some things. Um, I asked you what? What was the question I asked you?
He said, what's on your mind? Looks like you were thinking of something very hard." And I looked at you and I said, "Suicide."
Just like that.
Yes, sir. And I was surprised I said that to you
Right, what
because,
courage, man.
yeah, I would have never said that to anyone else,
Yeah.
but I felt like you had kindness and grace in your in your
It's my mannerisms, the way I
physique,
was
yes,
yeah.
sir. And and you asked me to step in the room and to talk to you, and if you could pray over me, and
Yeah.
that's what we did. We went into the new beginnings room to talk, and you prayed over me. You made me feel so much better. And when I was in there listening to you talk, it was like my conscience, the spirit spoke to me and told me to throw them away. And I told him that I couldn't. And it said that it would put a trash can in my path.
Huh.
And here at church. And sure enough, on the way out the door, right by the door, there was a metal trash can, and I threw them away
Oh,
right
yeah.
then and there.
Amazing, and so glad you're here, man, and I love you. I'm just so grateful. I get emotional just, what you have gone through in your life and, our friendship, and, I'm just so grateful you're still here, man, and that you said that word.
Mm,
And a lot of people just can't do that. They don't feel safe a lot of times to be able to just say, "This is what I'm struggling with," especially at church.
mm,
And you found the courage to do that. And you said, I think you said the demons, it felt like they went quieter.
mm,
But you've been wrestling some demons for a very long
mm.
time. You've been wrestling some demons for a long time. Yeah.
Yes, sir. I feel like you're conscious. You have your own voice, but then there's a Holy Spirit voice that
Yeah.
speaks to you. But that same Holy Spirit, because it has strength over you, you have demons that'll get in your head and
Yeah.
try to speak to you, persuade you their way to the devil.
Yeah.
And
Some of those demons have been depression.
mm,
Some of those demons have been addiction. So let's start with like growing up. You said your dad is kinda your hero, like, your dad is one of the most godly men that you know, your mom is amazing, just
yes,
these are awesome people,
yes.
and so as you were growing up, things were okay?
Um, to the parental value,
Right,
yes, sir. But I was born with cleft lip, cleft palate. And so I had a lot of surgery. I had 14 plastic surgeries
yeah,
between birth and 18.
wow,
And I was picked on and bullied a lot in
yeah,
school and tried to beat up and everything. And
that messes with your, like, sense of value and worth,
yes,
man,
sir, I felt like I was broken from birth. I felt like as if I had the mark of the devil, or
yeah,
I wasn't worthy, I wasn't good enough.
you carried that around your whole life,
Yes, sir, I
yeah,
have. Um, my mom tried to help, my father both tried to help, and they divorced early and both remarried, and I got great step parents on both sides, um,
but
and
it was just hard to overcome
yes,
that
sir.
insecurity and that so how did the military enter into your like, what made you think, "Maybe I'll join the army? What kinda led you to enlisting?
Uh-huh.
Uh-oh, he laughed. There's a story.
One of the starting of it was Triple S, Smithfield's high school, had a smoking area,
Okay.
and I was smoking cigarettes at the time. And I come in, they had a table of recruiters set up
Uh,
out there. And the guy said, "Well, you interested in the Marine Corps? What would you like to be?" I was like, "I want to be Marine Recon." And the guy laughed at me to my face.
oh.
And like I wanted to hit him, but I was like, I can't. Like, like he could blow me away. And he hit the other recruiter, and he laughed. I didn't know why. I didn't know really what level of what I was saying. And I went ahead and graduated,
Yeah.
and I went around Johnson County trying to find a job, and nobody would hire me. And I was looking for a mechanical job
You're
because
kind
I
of
was
a
good.
gearhead, you like
Yeah,
cars and all that kinda stuff,
yes,
yeah.
sir. And I was trying to tell them what I knew, and they were all like, "Where's your certification?
Yeah,
Where's your degree?
right.
Where? How can we prove that you know what you know?" I said, "Turn your back and let me use your machine right here. You know,
I'll
you
show
got
you.
any? Yeah, I'll show you." They're like, "No, we can't allow that." So I went home, and I was struggling at the time and
Yeah.
had no money,
You
income,
just
and
graduated high school, you're
just
18?
graduate, yeah, 18, 19ish. And I talked with a good friend of mine I was living with who plays guitar, and he said, "Well, what do you think about the military?" And I said, "Well, maybe I joined the military so others wouldn't."
Yeah,
And I thought about a few of my friends, and I knew they wouldn't do it.
yeah,
So I was like, "Well, if they're not going to do it, I'm going to do it,
yeah.
and I'm going to try to make my parents proud of me." Because my stepdad always talked about Vietnam, and my daddy took me to a barber shop where the guy was airborne. He had pictures everywhere, and I respected him
Oh,
very much so. So I thought about going to the army. So I spoke to the recruiter, and I told him I wanted to go to Germany as a mechanic and go airborne. He said, "Well, I can give you 2 or 3, but I can't give you 3 or 3." I said, "Okay." So had Germany as a mechanic, and when I was in Maryland going to like job training, the recruiter from 82nd came up there and said, "We need y'all's job at the
wow.
82nd."
Wow.
And when he said it, he said, "Who wants to go back to Fayetteville, North Carolina?" And I'm sitting over there goofing around. I raised my hand. He looked at me with a drill sergeant and pointed right at me, started scribbling on his clipboard. I was like, "Oh man, I got now." But when I got up to leave, they pulled me to the side, said, "Okay, I saw you raise your hand. Like, what's going
Yeah,
on?" I said, "I've always heard of the 82nd, and I know they're kick butt.
yeah.
Like, they're like top of the line. Like, they're elite, and I would like that. Like, I would like to,
Be a part of that.
yeah, I like to make my parents proud."
That's you said it a couple of times. That kinda makes you emotional, huh?
Yeah,
Yeah. They are proud, John. They are proud of you. I'll tell you that. So you joined 2 or 3, and then all of a sudden you're at 3. So you
yeah,
got it all.
I
You got
got
it
it.
all. And you're going back to Fort Bragg.
Yes, sir.
And so you get you've done your boot camp. You're in airborne, and then,
They sent me to Fort Benning, Georgia,
into Georgia, and then when was the deployment? So we were just talking about March, what was it, 2003,
2003.
Operation American or Operation Iraqi Freedom,
Yes, sir.
and, it was if people remember, it's the big shock and awe they were talking about.
Pretty much the invasion of Iraq.
Yeah, and they're gonna get rid of Saddam Hussein,
Mhm.
and, you're right in the mix of that. You're
Yes,
getting
sir.
deployed to that. Talk about that a little bit.
They had given us a deck of cards, like playing cards, and it had the list of different people they wanted to take out, I
Eliminate
guess was
them.
the best word to say. Um, we were the drive-in force, and so all these vehicles, and I was the recovery vehicle.
Yeah.
So I had to make sure they made it there mechanically and through the sand and not get stuck.
People don't know how bad that was, like, how the sand got into everything. The sand
Yeah.
was everywhere. It was just very hard to keep vehicles going, yeah.
Yes.
And you're driving them, you're taking care of them, and it's just that's your world.
Mhm.
That's your world. And so, uh, you're you're in a heading into Kuwait. Is this right? You're heading into Kuwait with and you're,
Yeah, we staged up in Kuwait.
yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Staged up in Kuwait. Kinda walk through leading up to, um, where you had the accident.
Okay.
So you're
Like
this is Iraqi freedom, you're right in the middle of all of it, just trying to an amazing thing that you're doing, the courage of you, the people around you, and, following orders in Kuwait, trying to I mean, just trying to get rid of Saddam Hussein and that deck of cards, and thank you for your service, by the way.
thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you for your
Thank you
service.
for
So
being
just
thankful.
yeah, so we'll just walk us through, that day, kinda what was leading up to you being in the position that you found yourself in, kind of a pretty scary situation.
Yes, sir. A lot of people ask me if it was a dust storm or something, but we've been through the dust storm, and the dust storm was the craziest thing I ever been into. It's like a tornado of sand.
Oh,
You put your hand in front of your face and you can't see it.
yeah,
Guys are getting lost when they get out of the truck to urinate. They were losing. We were having to go out in the desert, hold hands to try to find
it's
people.
crazy.
And a rule come down, you had to tie yourself to your truck
Wow.
just to urinate. And so we were out there. It's a lot like going down a dirt road with a bunch of vehicles and all the sand kicks up, can't see
It's like a
nothing.
blizzard.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir. And I was the big 10-ton Hemi wrecker, and they would get stuck, and I just hit them in the back end and push them, and it was all kinds of stuff. And
That's crazy.
cause if I got out and hooked my winch up to them, they show up and start shooting at us. So I
The
tried to
bad
do it.
guys.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
tried to do it as quick and fast as possible.
You're trying to move, it's a convoy.
Mhm.
How many vehicles?
Oh, a lot, hundreds.
Wow. Yeah.
And
I
we were
see.
surrounded by hundreds of tanks.
It's
And,
crazy.
and
Just trying to move through the sand through the desert in a blizzard
with
of sand.
nothing, couldn't see nothing.
Jeez.
Greenery.
Yeah.
The only thing you saw was broken things from Desert Storm,
Yeah.
where
Wow.
they blew up buildings or blew up tanks, and you
It's a
know,
nightmare.
yes, sir. And we were with a couple of Marines and the tankers, and we had a call for me to go pick up a Hemet fueler, which is like a transfer truck with a gas tank on the back of, and so I'm out there trying to hook up to it, and it's taking some time because the sand can't back up level
Yeah.
to it, and some enemy came out on the horizon with a mortar tube and
So
started
it was
like
like all you saw, you said was like a white pickup truck?
yeah, little
White
white pickup.
truck. They get out.
Yeah.
They
Yeah, they get out real fast, and they had threw the base plate down on the ground and to hook the tube up to it. And a mortar is like a little rocket.
yeah.
So they just you would drop it in and
Yeah.
yeah, and it would fly to us and bust, and you got hot pieces of metal flying back
Shrapnel's
there.
going everywhere, and you don't know where it's gonna land. Like, it's
Yeah,
any point in time, something really
anywhere.
bad can happen. Yeah.
And you got a fuel truck right behind you.
Oh, man. Truck full
Yeah.
of
So some
yeah,
of the
full
guys, they're trying to
di
dig in the sand, so they have like a little like indentation to get down in,
jeez.
and
And you're firing at these guys, but they're too far away.
yeah,
So you're spraying, you get up, you start spraying.
the 5.56 is too weak to reach out there to them, and they had us measured off
Yeah.
perfectly. where their mortars could reach us, but our 5.56 couldn't reach
Yeah.
them. And I'm shooting like Kentucky windage. I had the machine gunner come to me, and I'm spraying, and nothing's working. So I get over behind my tire. I'm ducked down hiding, and stuff is flying right by me. And finally, my lieutenant said, "Hey, we're going to call in tank support. You get them. Just get this thing ready. Let's get out of here right now."
Yeah.
So I hooked the chains up and I jumped in and we started going off and
What did he call it? He was just gonna drag it out.
yeah,
What did you
skull dragging.
skull drag? Because it's like, we gotta go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just hook some chains and get them where you could pull it. And we were pulling it. Yeah,
And you're under attack. I mean,
yeah.
and you're trying to get these because 'cause you're sitting duck.
Hmm.
Yeah, and so you're pulling this thing out, getting ready to pull this thing out by the chains, rushing, you're trying to hurry.
Yeah.
And what happened?
Um, the tanks are going at them, coming in. They're going at them. And we don't know where they're coming from. And when they would go by us, we couldn't see nothing because it's like a dirt road. And I actually ran into what you call a Bradley tank, which is a big square one where troops run in and out of the back of, and it is armored up vehicle. So when I hit it, it drove up on top of it, and it squished me in the cab of my vehicle. It ripped my Kevlar off, cracked my head, broke my jaws, and then it broke my back. And that broke my spinal cord, femoral, and sciatic nerve. And the doctor said it looked like it was put in a blender. My spinal cord was. And they said I died. I was dead for 3 to 5 minutes. I had no breath, no pulse, and no blood coming out of the wound. And they
So
went
they
on.
kinda just, "This guy's not this guy's dead,"
Yes,
and
sir.
they're moving away from you,
Yeah.
but you something was happening.
Yeah, I was
You're
punching the dash, I thought unconsciously, and the lieutenant told him to check me again.
'cause you
And
'cause they look over, all of a sudden, you're smashing on the dashboard,
mhm,
and it was kinda like a dream you were having, and
yes.
you're s you said in the dream, you're just smashing on heaven,
Yes.
and you say, like, punch through it's like you punched through, as far as you're concerned, you punched through, like, the bottom of heaven and dropped back into your body,
Yes, sir.
and the lieutenant saw you just smashing on the dash. He's like, "This guy's alive."
Mhm.
That's wild, man.
I went after the accident, which I didn't know had
Right.
happened. I felt like when I woke up or come to, I was in this gray, it was like a gray floor with gold squares on like a grid. And there was this big wooden chair in front of me with like a sun behind it. And I didn't know if I was looking at the sun, but big, bright, streaming light. And I heard a voice and I couldn't really understand it. And I tried to walk forward to it, and I fell down. And when I fell down, a little gold trickled down.
Mm.
And I was like, what is that? What is that doing? And so I started pushing the floor, and I fell through a circle, and I fell back into my body when they had just pulled me out of the cab and was pulling my uniform off. And I woke up when my feet hit the ground, and they were telling me to calm down,
Yeah.
to the helicopters coming, and I'm going to the hospital. And the guy who was riding behind me, he was joking at me, ha ha, sorry, Will, that's what you get for playing chicken with a tank. And I didn't
Right, you didn't
re-
do that on
and
purpose.
hearing it, I was like,
Wow.
oh, that's what must have happened. I ran into a tank.
Oh my gosh.
I was like,
Where did you end up after that? So you end up did you say you were in Germany, at a hospital in Germany?
yes, sir. A place called Hamburg University Hospital.
And they're trying to put you back together again, and part of the journey that you then were on, like, to try to get your body back to being, somewhat functional, was to manage the pain, was to manage
Yes.
the pain. Talk about, and this is right in the heart of the opioid epidemic, and they're just giving people pain medica opioids hand over fist,
Yes,
and
sir.
you're right in the middle of that thing. Talk about what they started to do to manage your pain.
Morphine and a whole lot of it.
That's right.
Um, the only word between English and German that they understand is morphine. They call it morphina.
Yeah,
And my leg felt like there was a blowtorch just burning it, right on the thigh. So I'm screaming, like holding my leg, and the nurse like, "You hurting?" Yeah. I was like, morphine every time.
yeah,
And morphine, you just feel like you go up on that cloud.
yeah,
You're pain free. You're like, oh.
yeah,
And so they're like, good. Anytime you hurting, yeah, morphine right in the IV
yeah.
bag. And when I got back here, the pain clinic said, okay, you've been on this level of a opioid this long. We have to put you on something stronger than normal. So they put me on fentanyl transdermal patches.
Yeah, those fentanyl
Mm,
patches.
and he just stepped it up and kept stepping it up every month till I was on the highest dose possible.
And you said it's just insane what they were doing back then, and you
Mm,
said that there was a hospice nurse who said that you were on a level of
mhm.
dosage that they only give to terminally, like, the highest cancer patients
Yes.
who are basically,
Dying, they're dying
yeah,
and just like minutes from dying.
and that's the dosage that you're on a daily basis.
And she was telling me to go to a clinic, a methadone clinic, and I'd never heard of that
Mm,
before. And she was just a retired nurse, like trying to help me out that my mom knew. And she's like, okay, like, you really need to be careful of that. But they were giving me Percocets and Oxycontin and nerve pills and
and this is all prescribed.
yeah,
So it's
legal
not you're
addiction.
not in the street getting this stuff
Legal addiction. Like,
on a next level.
yes.
And so you are so you and this is what we talk about. You are not only experiencing, like, pain, but now you're if you get o if you dose down even a little bit, the withdrawal makes you dope sick to a level that's just
You get
you
the
can't function.
shakes, you get the sweats,
Yeah,
your ears ring.
yeah,
You don't know where you at sometimes. When you go to sleep, you wake up, you're like, where am I?
right.
Takes you a minute, you're like, okay, I'm safe, I'm good, I'm cool. Like, go get a cold Mountain Dew and go smoke a cigarette and, you know, walk the dog. Don't forget about the dog. And the dog would help me sometimes when I would pass out. The dog would come lick me in my face and wake me up. And, I would nod out. He would wake me up. And me and my dog got close.
Yeah, you have a
And
picture of
yes,
you as one of the best friends you've ever had.
yes. He lived to be 12 years old and he was very protective. I never trained him to be that way, but sometimes you couldn't get close to me. If we were here, he'd be in between us, laying on the floor to keep you away from me.
He knew you needed that
Yes.
protection because you were in bad shape. How bad did it get, man? How you being in that state of addiction, and it is prescribed
Mhm.
legal addiction. How bad was it? How dark did that get?
So bad I would sleep with a gun in my mouth. There was a time I fell asleep with a 38 revolver sitting in my mouth, and I woke up smelling gun oil. I'm like, why am I smelling gun oil? And I looked down, I was like, oh, that. And then I thought about oh, okay, I remember now. That's what I did. And I had to just get up, take another pain pill, and,
Yeah.
try to go on with the day.
You started to get better. I mean, you started to rehab, you started to work on that, and then you met somebody.
Yeah, she was a godsend. She helped me more than anything. Try to, think about the future and lessen what I was taking. And, like she said, yeah, it's being prescribed, but you don't need that much. Why don't you instead of taking 5 a day, let's see if you could take 3 a day. And, so, okay,
This is your fiancée,
yeah,
you
we
I
started
love your
best
engagement
friends.
story.
Uh,
What was her first name?
Jennifer.
So Jennifer, you, she wasn't real sure you were real serious. You guys started dating, you're telling me, and then, one time she's like, "I don't know that you're that serious," and what'd you do?
I dropped down to one knee and asked her to marry me, and, she said yes, but I had no ring or nothing. So I saw a ball of twine on her nightstand. I grabbed it. I tied a little rope around her finger. I said, "Well, this is to keep all the other men away. But for you to remember, when I get the money, I would take you to the jewelry store to buy what you want, your size, but I don't know your size." And
Yeah.
she said, "I don't know what it is." I said, "Well, what can we do?" I was like, "But I promise I'll take you to the jewelry store." I said, "I'll buy you $1,000 ring at least."
Yeah.
And she said, "Okay." And then she said, "Will you take care of my daughter as your own?" I said, "Yes."
Mm,
She said, "Sign over custody rights?" I said, "Yeah, I will do anything to support you and Rebecca."
yeah.
And,
She was the love of your life.
yes, sir. I did it. We moved in later on. We moved in together. She died on the way going to work one morning. She drove off the left side of the road. They don't know if just did not wake up or if she fell asleep driving. And they think it was from a pill from Ambien,
Oh,
a sleep pill. And supposedly they changed the recipe and they came back out with Ambien CR,
okay.
which is what they give out now. But this was back 2004.
Yeah.
And and she had a prescription for it
Some more
also.
prescribed drugs that
Yeah,
just led to
they were
tragedy.
legal, and
Yeah.
she was supposed to have it. And
So the family is faced with a decision. You're there where, you had to make the decision to let her go.
whether or not to pull the plug
Yeah.
for her brain activity, and they luckily she passed before they pulled the plug.
Before you had to make that decision.
Yes,
So just tragedy after tragedy after tragedy. And
yes,
so after you said between like 2003 and like 2000, what, 13 or 4, I mean, just a constant struggle with
addiction.
addiction.
From 2003 to 2010, yes, sir. I made the comment, and some of the doctors don't like me making this comment, but I was high as a kite legally.
Right.
I didn't abuse none. I didn't overtake, because if you overtake any, you run out before the month's out.
Right.
And couldn't do that. Oh
Yeah.
no, because that was bad.
So you're just in you're a constant self-medicated state for years. And then people start going like, hey, this is addictive. On a national level, there's some like, oh, we better slow this thing down.
Yes,
And, and I mean, to some extent, it's good that that awareness happened, but for you, it was like, the hammer came down. And what that you said was about 2009, 2010,
2010.
where they said, "All right,
No more.
no more." Just like that.
Yeah,
This episode is sponsored by Recovery Alive, a Christ centered recovery movement helping people rebuild their lives, restore relationships, and renew their faith. Through safe recovery homes, life changing support groups, and personalized coaching, Recovery Alive provides hope and a clear path forward for those battling addiction, mental health challenges, or life's toughest seasons. I've seen firsthand how this community changes lives, and yours could be next. Learn more at recoveryalive.com.
and I went to the pain clinic for my monthly appointment. They said, "We're sorry, the rules come down from Congress to the VA by the secretary of the VA that we can no longer prescribe opioids, and so we're taking all your medicine away." What are we gonna do about pain? Like, you gonna give me anything? They said, "No, we'll give you a month to 2 months of withdrawal medicine."
Yeah.
which hardly worked, and, that was it.
That was it.
After that, I was on my own, struggling, in my bedroom, breaking stuff on my leg, trying to make the pain go away, and, I started drinking.
You needed something.
Yes, I needed something to
You know, we hear
level out.
yeah, we hear this all the time is, like, people that pill supply cuts out, and that's how they get onto IV drugs and heroin, and but for you, alcohol was the ticket. It worked.
Yeah,
This to some extent, and so you started really drinking heavily.
yes. Yes, if I probably had access to heroin or fentanyl at that point, I would have probably been on it
Sure.
very badly.
But alcohol is what you had
Yeah,
access to,
yeah, because I knew about Jim Beam and Crown Royal,
right?
and there we go,
Off
right?
you go, and it was every day.
Weed, marijuana,
Yeah,
cannabis, what words you use. I like using the word cannabis. That's more of the medical term,
yeah,
where marijuana was a term invented by the government to scare people, scare white people
yeah,
on it. 1965, I believe.
yeah. So you're drinking, you're using, you're just doing everything you can to just keep the pain away because it was
Yes,
just constant pain.
yes.
And so when did you get to the point where, you had another medical issue? What year was it where you're talking about you're in the bar, you're starting to we just had Jeff Stultz on our podcast, and you're starting to kinda be in the biker world a little bit, and your body
Yes,
is working a little bit better, I mean, you're riding a bike, but you're usually, drunk or high or you're just constantly in a state of self-medication. So when was it that you find yourself at the bar trying to get you tell me you're trying to get the helmet on your head to go home. What was that?
um, yeah, it's from 2003. They said I could never ride a horse or a motorcycle, and so I was very depressed about that. But a buddy of mine came up and said, "I got this motorcycle, it's a good bike, it's really cheap. I'll sell it to you for what I got in it." I was like, "How much you got it?" He said, $1,000. I said, "Okay." So I bought this bike and I rode it.
Wow.
I put hundreds of thousands of miles on that bike. And I got to get to know other bikers around and that community, the brotherhood. Like I wanted more of it. And
Right.
I wanted as much as I could get. And in 2022, like I said, I was at the local bar and um just doing the normal thing. I was not drunk, but I had a few drinks and was sitting out with my girlfriend, and I went to go get back on the bike. My left hand wouldn't buckle right. Like you gotta go in and go flip
Right.
it around. And I couldn't do it. So I called her for help and she was accusing me of being drunk.
Right.
And but I got my helmet on and I was able to drive it, but I was shifting gears, reaching over, and each time the bike would wobble, but I
'Cause
hold
you
it
can't
up.
you really can't use your left hand at this point.
No, yeah. And it didn't register in my head what was going on. I just knew something was wrong. But I went home and they had me on trazodone, legal prescription, and so I went to sleep. And when I woke up, I was left side paralyzed. I couldn't walk. I fell down and I had my phone in my pocket, and I called my mother, and she came and helped me and took me to the hospital. I got a great mother.
She's awesome.
She above awesome, so magnificent, and she protects me like she always does.
Mm. She's been good to you.
Yes. I mean, we bump heads. We so much alike. Like we do bump heads, and she likes it her way. I like it my way, and we go back and forth sometimes, but then we'll find a happy medium,
Yeah.
and we'll get better. And but I love her to death.
So you wake up and your left side paralyzed. What happened?
she helped me to the car and raced me to the hospital, local hospital there. And then they found out that my brain was swelling, so they life flighted me to the major hospital, UNC, and they did a cranectomy and while
They
this
cranectomy, they literally took off half of your skull, is
yeah,
that
they
right?
cut my hair off, and I had long, long hair, and they cut my hair off, and, that's one of the things when I woke up, I was like, "Where's my hair?" You know? And mom's trying to calm me down, "Son, you just had emergency brain surgery."
Wow.
Yeah, they cut off the whole like, skull here, and it looked like it felt like I slid down the road with no helmet on and just sanding my head off.
Wow, wow.
Like, I call myself the Elephant Man,
Mm.
but, they were like I was too hard on myself, but it's the way I had lived my whole life, and,
That old bullying, that
yeah.
old stuff, always feeling insecure, yep. So you'd had a stroke,
I had a stroke, but I hadn't realized it.
right?
So I want to tell anybody, everybody, if something goes numb, go to the
Just
hospital
go.
immediately. Don't wait.
Yeah,
Don't have a drink. Don't go out with your wife. Go to the hospital.
yeah.
Um,
And
and
that's been hard for you because we talked about it again on the way here about the military culture and the biker culture, and just being a man is like you you
you
don't
don't want
talk.
to go to the
Yeah,
hospital.
you don't even ask for help for anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so that's a good message to put out there, is that ask for help, whatever it is. Ask for help.
Yes.
And so you're in this situation now where you're half paralyzed. You've been through tragedy after tragedy. Um, I was helping you into the Jeep, which was a little bit of a it was a little
Yeah.
interesting at the house, trying to get you in the Jeep, and I said, "I just saw you wince," and I said, "Does your leg hurt?" And you went, "Everything hurts. Everything hurts." And it wasn't dramatic or any, it's just a fact, and it's probably all the time. It's just like
It's something
all
I deal with. I live with it.
all the time, and so here you are, 2022, here's another thing that you've got to overcome, and, you're you're invited to this church,
Yes, sir.
and you start coming to this church.
I had a great friend of mine thought she was going to recovery. She loved it, and she thought that I would benefit from it. And she kept on, you know,
She was relentless.
yes, every time she saw me, you need to come to church with me because there's a program there called Recovery Alive, and they got this guy, Pastor John Eklund. Come meet him and listen to the word. You would appreciate it. You'll like it. Don't worry about it being church. Come as you are. As long as you there, you'll be okay. And I'm like, I don't want to go to no church. Like, I had been to church in
Yeah,
10 something plus years.
and you didn't have a lot of good experiences when you did go to church.
Yes, sir. I had long hair and, you know, not a whole lot of nice clothes.
Uh,
And, you know, we got a pastor that dresses to the tens,
yeah,
and he looks good every Sunday. Three-piece suit,
yeah.
shiny shoes, and
This is the one church you grew up in or whatever, the church
little temple now.
yeah,
I mean, I don't want to put his name out there, but you
yeah,
know what I'm talking about. And I mean, I feel like I didn't have no clothes like
right,
that to be
right.
able to come here. And especially now, I've gained weight.
Yeah,
I've gained out of all the clothes I used to have, and suits, button-up shirts,
yeah,
even pants with buttons on them. I can't do because you need two hands to be able to do them. So I was embarrassed to go and pull up sweatpants
yeah,
and stuff. And and but I went, and when I went, I felt very welcomed and comfortable from the front door
yeah.
to the back door.
Amen.
And
Yeah, good.
lot of great people, even the the regular common people that are in there.
Yeah.
they welcomed me, and
Yeah.
the church people, which I used to get looked down upon, or yeah, their nose turned up at, they were great opening the door for me. And,
Yeah.
you know, I need help getting in and out of the bathroom door, and there's a guy over there that helps me great, and I become friends with him
Oh,
now.
Bill, is that Bill?
Will,
Oh, Will, yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah.
So you're coming to church, you've been there 6, 8, 10 times. Old Rodney, Rodney wearing jeans and a usually Under Armour T-shirt or something, something like that, or a shirt that says "I don't care." But you're coming, and then you have this moment where you and I connect. And then I remember you started coming on Friday nights,
Yes.
and feeling accepted and receiving something that you were just so hungry for. Can you just talk about what recovery has done for you, and why you keep coming?
Recovery has given me strength to stand a part of the wanting to go back drinking, or
Yeah,
getting some friends to bring alcohol to my house, or you know, even when I'm offered somebody to buy me a drink, I'm like, no,
yeah.
no, thank you, I'm okay. And um,
And you're telling everybody about it? That's it. I
yeah,
think
yeah.
you're like you said, I give away cars. I'm telling everybody about
Cause
it.
I know the guys, I know who's bad off, I
Yeah,
know who's doing drugs, I know who needs to go to church, and who may go to church, and who be like, oh no, if I step in the church, I'm gonna burn,
yeah.
I'm gonna catch on fire right there,
Mm.
probably burn your house down. Just
Just by
yeah,
walking in. Yeah,
mm,
just by walking. People
yeah.
have said to me, like, if I go to church, the roof's gonna cave in on me. And that's a
And I have heard it from my some good friends.
right. Why do you think people say that? Why is that
Um,
in their mind?
they believe they're too much of a sinner,
Yeah,
and that sin can't be forgiven. But once you come, you learn that it can be,
yeah,
as long as confess, and look for the Lord, and accept the Lord into your life. And a lot of people might think it's like rehab, but I tell them, this is a Christ-based recovery system, and
yeah.
it's step by step,
Yeah,
just take it one step at a
that's
time,
good.
one day at a time. And I've actually helped some people. I've helped two people quit drinking and smoking
Yeah.
cigarettes. I kept one guy from stop dealing drugs,
Wow, man.
and from telling them about my stroke, and they don't say I don't want to end up like John,
Yeah.
so I feel better about that. And it just makes me like, because the man's got a family and stuff
Yeah,
too, and I felt appreciated. And I felt like I had a purpose,
that's right.
that this is my purpose for the Lord, even being here with you today.
Yeah,
If I can help one person out there, please come to recovery. You'll be welcome. It don't matter your tattoos, clothes, hair, you know, there's all kinds of people in there. You know, and some of them I know, some of them I don't. I love the recovery mama. I forget her name, but that's what I call her. She's a little, I don't want to be offensive, but I think she's Latino of
yeah.
some,
Is that Carmen? Might be Carmen.
Carmen, she told me her name, but Carmen don't seem to fit.
Yeah.
She might be, but she goes,
We got a lot of recovery mamas.
she goes from table to table to
Oh,
table
oh,
to table. She'll pick up trash. Are you hungry? You need any more food? Let me take this for you.
that's amazing.
And she helps every single body. She'll hug on them.
Yeah.
She'll kiss them on the head, and next table, and go to the next table.
I love it.
I saw her doing that one day. And then she came over to me, did the same thing. I said, I hope I don't offend you, but I'm going to call you the recovery mom. She said, I laughing. And then later on one day, I seen her with her husband, and they were standing there with the chairs more up front. And I went up to her, I said, is this your woman right here? He's like, yeah. I said, you got a wonderful woman.
Yeah.
He put her arm around, I know. And I was like, it was just great to see older people still
Yeah.
in love and sharing recovery together. And
People have played a huge role. You've had people all along the way, people in church and out of church,
mm,
who have talked you out of some scary things, have talked you into some good things,
mm,
and now you wanna be that for other people, and you have been. You have started to do that, and, man, I wanted to tell you we were on our way here too, and, man, I'm excited about your journey and some of your next steps, and, uh at Recovery Live, we a lot of times will offer scholarships for, like, full scholarships for peer support, and I want you to do that, man. I think have have you get involved in that, where we've been talking about, ways in which you can reach people who are veterans, suicidal, people struggling with which you've successfully come off of opioids, which is a rare thing, and
mm.
um, man, we wanna just give you that full scholarship so you can do that peer support stuff,
That'd be
man.
great.
We are on it, brother. We're gonna do that, and, we just want you to be a part of what's happening here on a much higher level. And this podcast, Living on Incline, it really is about someone just like you who wakes up every day and you could just give up and you have every reason to give up, but you don't. In fact, you just keep growing and keep getting better and keep getting stronger and your message gets stronger. And the thing people need to know about it is that you still wake up and you still have pain.
Mhm.
Like God hasn't just taken that away from you, but you've overcome it. And you decide, like, I'm going to, despite my pain, despite my disabilities, I'm gonna do what God has called me to do, and it is so inspiring, John. It is so inspiring, and I think it's just the beginning, man. I think it's just the beginning. So thank you, man. Thank you for what you're doing. Thank you for, your message. I wanna just do one more thing. What would you tell somebody in some ways, maybe not exactly this way, but they go to bed with a gun in their mouth. They're they're just feeling like they don't have any hope. They're going through stuff. Just a short message. What would if somebody's listening right now, what would you tell that person? What would you want them to know?
Not to do it or uh find something that you can change about yourself. If it's just calling friends on the
Yeah.
phone, if it's on recovery at church or a TV show that you like, just it, anything to make a little bit of happiness in your life, and just don't. And it's hard to say just don't do it because people like I try to say
Right.
don't do it, but it won't go away, and they don't go away that easily. It's like little people sitting there talking to you. Come on now, come
Those
on.
demons.
Yeah,
Yeah.
go in the kitchen and stick a knife in your throat
Jeez.
and just watch it squirt out, and that's happened
You've
to
had
me
that
also.
messaging, yeah.
Um,
So you just gotta find those baby steps to just hold on a little bit longer. Just hold on for another hour, another 2 hours. Sometimes I remember going out to your house and saying, "Man, just for today, call me at the end of the day. Just one more day, one more day. We'll just you don't have to think about 10 years ahead of time, just one more
w-
day, one more day."
one day at a time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Luckily, I got a family that I love so much that I think about my funeral, and I think, if I were to commit suicide, I think about my funeral and seeing my family up there, and well, he killed himself by suicide, but now he's gone and he's not in pain anymore, but he had to, and also like a man, he felt so weak he had to end himself. And I feel like that's a cardinal sin.
Mm.
You're going to burn in hell for life or eternity for suicide. And, you know, so that's one thing. I don't fear anything, but that's something I would not want or fear is to be in hell for eternity. And, you know, but if I accept the Lord and just try to, I mean, even if you get up, just read the Bible.
Yeah.
Just read one chapter of the Bible and get up, play some music.
Just
You know,
just some.
crank it up, just,
Hey, I think as you start to um, gain momentum in your own recovery, and I'm watching it happen, I'm watching you gain recovery momentum. I see that you have the ability to just give people those tools, those baby steps. And so I'm excited to watch that happen when you know, when you're in a place where and we talked about like getting you to the church, getting you involved, getting you connected to people who are going through this stuff. So man, you are an inspiration, brother, and I'm so proud of you and so grateful that you decided to hang out with me today. And
I appreciate the invite,
yeah,
Mr. John.
yeah, I know
John.
people are people are watching you and they are inspired. Your family, I know they're proud of you, man. I know your mom's proud of you, your dad's proud of you. It's just amazing. So, and again, thank you for your service and thanks for hanging out, brother. Appreciate it.
Thank you for being thankful.
Yeah.
Hey, thanks again for joining us on Living on Incline, sponsored by Recovery Life. Would you do us a favor and just hit that subscribe button, share with your friends? And again, we want to explore our full God-given potential and see what we are capable of. So again, hit that subscribe button and thank you so much for joining us on Living on Incline.